Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a close look at the Field & Stream Eagle Talon 120 kayak. Alright, so the Field & Stream Eagle Talon 120 weighs 68 pounds according to their website. It's 12 feet long and 34 inches wide. This is my first fishing kayak. I just upgraded to something really special, and I've got another video coming out soon to document that. But focusing on the Field & Stream, it's been a great boat for me, and I'm actually really going to miss it. I've caught a lot of amazing fish on this boat, and I hope it goes to a good home. But getting into the details of the boat, starting at the bow, it does a great job of cutting through the chop. I will say that it, because it's so low to the water, sometimes the waves will just crash over the top, but it bails the water really well through the scupper holes, so it hasn't been a big deal. Handle's fine. It's a rope handle. I guess in theory that could break over time, so it's something to think about, but that's an easy fix. The storage compartment, the hatch is not great. I usually put my cooler bag with an ice block inside there, and it was really pretty annoying to have to pull that open when I had a catch that I needed to store in there and then reseal it again while I was on the water. It's a fairly stable kayak, but sometimes that would get sketchy and just be kind of annoying to deal with. But it is great storage. You could run your rods all the way through the hull of the boat through that hatch, and it's pretty watertight. It's just annoying to have to peel that off and stick it back on while you're on the water. It comes with a Scotty mount for a fishing rod, although I always found it to be kind of out of the way. I had to really lean forward to get to a fishing pole there, so what I ended up doing is getting something to mount my phone and an action camera so I could document my catches. I could just talk to my phone, have it take selfies of me whenever I caught a decent fish to share on social media or whatever. And there's another spot right there where I could put like a cheap action camera and film myself. The foot pegs are fine. I had to replace those when I bought this boat used, but they worked well. No problem there. There's a kind of like two spots for a bottle of water or a drink. You could bungee it under there, and then there's another spot to stand up. But usually that little spot where you could stand up a drink, I would just put hooks or bait or whatever, so it was easy access, and I always had a water bottle bungeed under that carrier right there. This hatch is good. It's fairly dry. There's a net bag in there. I usually would put like my phone, keys, wallet in there in a dry bag inside that, and that served its purpose. I ended up adding a Yak Attack rail. I think there's a little 4-inch rail right there, just so I could have a better placed rod holder, and that worked out really great. It wasn't in the way. The seat that comes with this kayak is just not that great. It's one of those padded seats that kind of conforms to the shape of the hull of the boat. And the one that, when I bought it used, the one that it came with was just shredded. So I ended up just trashing that and just bought a stadium style seat, and I cut a milk crate to elevate it a bit, and that's fine. It worked out fine. When it was just the seat itself without the milk crate, the metal was starting to gouge into the boat a little bit, so adding the milk crate helped prevent that. And then to secure the seat, what I did is I added these 4 like cam buckles to these eyelets, and that worked really well. I could just tighten it down, and I wouldn't drive with it on my truck with it attached, but when I got to the water, I always felt like it was secured really well. If you're running an anchor, you could secure your anchor line into that lock, which I ended up fashioning, and you can see in my crate I've got a PVC pipe with a little 5-pound anchor and a retractable clothesline for the anchor, and I would just run it. This anchor trolley is much to be desired. It's really too short. I don't really see the point of why you would only cover like the back third of the boat with an anchor trolley. I had every intention of running a full-length anchor trolley on this kayak, but I ended up upgrading recently, so much for that. But if I were to keep it, I would definitely do that. And that's, it was fine for what it was. I would just usually send it to the back of the boat and have my anchor running off the stern. This rear compartment. I actually bought a bait bucket that would fit inside that little hole, but it was such a small bait bucket that it was kind of pointless. I never really ended up using it. Sometimes I would put a larger bait bucket back there. Sometimes I put my lunchbox back there, but it's kind of a funky spot. It seems like it's multi-purpose. I think you can put a Plano case there, but it's almost overly designed. It was just okay. The bungees there, help to keep whatever you have, pinned down there in place. 2 molded in rod holders, those are fine. I like how they're canted away from each other, so the poles never ended up, smacking into each other or interfered with each other. Paddle stagers, fine, slightly molded in, and then the bungees would hold it in place. I ended up having to tighten those just because they were getting old over time, but they were good. The rear tank well, it gets really narrow really quick, and I actually had to modify this crate with a belt sander, so I had to shave down some of these edges to just get it to mostly fit in there. But what I would do is use these little bungees to hold the crate down, and I would actually put 2 more and hook onto this little spot in the back to make sure that the crate definitely stayed in place, and it worked well. It was fine. And then sometimes I would store in my lunchbox or something in this underneath the mesh cover in the back, and that worked well too. And then the rear handle, same as the front. It's a rope. It's fine. It works. And there's a little drain in the back. And yeah, all in all, I mean, it's been a great fishing kayak. It's what got me started. I really just wanted to make this video so that I would remember, what I started with, and just remember all the good times I had with it. I'm gonna miss it. I think it's a great kayak for somebody who's starting out into the sport of kayak fishing. If you're looking for just an easy boat that you can throw and go into your vehicle and get on the water with quickly, I think it's really good for that. And standing up on it was fine, easy to do that. Not as stable as some of the more higher end kayaks like the Vibe Shearwater or the Crescent kayaks, but again, I really had a great time with it, and I would recommend it to somebody who is starting out. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful. If you're considering purchasing this kayak, be sure to like and subscribe. We do all sorts of review videos on this channel, and have lots of great fishing documented here as well. So I appreciate you guys, and take care.